We have to do it on our own, Monday through Friday. We have to be in the Word. We have to have a prayer life. We have to have a devotional life because we're out in the world, and we have to develop that. Absolutely. Good point, Brother Ross. Anyone else? I agree. Very good point. To tend and to keep in our men's series, it was about a plow, and what was the other one? A sword. You not only got to tend the garden, you got to protect the garden. And what they didn't do, they didn't protect the garden. He didn't fulfill his responsibility. Because here's the key. Here's what I'm getting at. If you remember the story, the very first thing when the serpent comes into the garden is, what did he question? What God said. Has God said, you shall not eat of every tree of the fruit of the garden? He just knows that in the day you eat it, your eyes will be open and you will become. Talked about heaven and earth will pass away. My word will not. The psalmist said, I will hide his word in my heart. He didn't say I'll worship that I might not sin against him. I will hide his word in my heart so that I might not sin against him. God said, my word will not return void. When I speak it, and I send that word out there, it will not return void to me. In other words, when I speak it, it's going to accomplish the purpose that I intended for it to accomplish. I know I'm supposed to be teaching, but I can't help it. I didn't preach Sunday. So, a price must be paid if we are to retain and obey the word. Can I give you a couple of things here that we must do? And this is a little controversial, but that's all right if we get started in this. We got a little time. First, we must reject the traditional thinking of going to church only for the purpose of rating a sermon. Everybody has different preaching styles. Pastor Ryan don't preach like me. I don't preach like him. We don't preach like Pastor Joe. I don't preach like Sister Tennyson. I don't preach like Jason Stidham. I don't preach like Pastor Kenny. I don't preach like Pastor Adam. They don't preach like me. And what happens is we get this thinking that it's got to be this way. We in Pentecostals are the world's worst. If they don't kick and spit and scream, then it's dead. I tell you, one of the most powerful sermons I ever heard was by a guy who never raised his voice. And it was one of the most powerful sermons to this day I've ever heard in my life. Because it was the Word and it gripped my heart. So we should always take the teachings we hear as long as they line up with the Word of God. No matter the personality of the preacher, the style of the sermon. I've gotten you people spoiled because y'all see my points on the screens, and I'm an outline preacher, and I'm easy to follow, and so when someone comes, and hope does not disappoint. The tribulations or trials that we experience have a purpose to work or produce patience in us. The book of James says this, my brethren, count it all joy when you fall into one translation says various trials. I can't remember the other one. My mind's not thinking real clearly. But he says, count it all joy when you fall into these trials or these very difficult.